All in Sports Network. We love sports.
All right, there are outside excuses for the Colts. The Dolphins looked really bad. The Broncos had an unlucky penalty. It's just the Titans. They lost to the Rams, and then it's just the Raiders. Do any of these make sense to you? As excuses from the outside.
Let me quickly put it in perspective.
Okay.
If you're truly looking at it from an unbiased standpoint, because I think a Colts fan is obviously going to have bias, and the other people who say that have a bias because they just don't like the Colts.
Or they don't pay attention because who watches the Colts outside of Indiana? Apparently nobody, because they're never broadcast in Texas.
So my thought about it is they crushed the Dolphins.
Yep.
They crushed the Titans.
Yep.
They beat the Broncos. Unlucky or not, they beat them.
Yep. Even the Broncos' own coach said, yes, that's a penalty.
Yep. Prayers to Spencer Shrader. Out for the
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Year. But they beat the Broncos. They crushed the Raiders.
Yep.
And they lost to the Rams when they shouldn't have. They should have beaten the Rams.
It very well could have.
Mm-hmm.
2 key plays.
They
beat
beat
2 touchdowns.
They beat the Broncos, who just beat the Eagles.
Interesting.
Made them have their first win. So, in theory, the Colts are the number 1 seed in the AFC, and it should be that way. They have not proved that they shouldn't be.
Well, there you go. I'm Kevin. This is my son, Liam. We're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All Indiana Sports as part of the All In Sports and Rogue Media Sports Networks.
Yep. Welcome back in. The Colts took total control of the Raiders after that first possession. The only question became if they could convert a 2-point conversion after losing Spencer Shrader. How did the Colts do it to get to the first 4-1 start since 2013? Let's go all in to find out.
Yes, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at All Indiana Sports and on Twitter at All Indy Sports. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep, as I mentioned earlier, the Colts are now the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Bills lost last night to the Patriots, and according to some tiebreakers, the Colts have the technicality first place, which we all know tiebreakers matter a ton whenever it comes to seeding because that 1 seed gets a bye.
Yep, AFC lost for the Bills. The Colts have not lost an AFC game. That is the difference in a tiebreaker. Mm-hmm. So let's go over the narrative of the game, Colts and Raiders.
Yes, let's do that. As we mentioned, the Colts went 3-and-out on the first drive of the game.
Yep, the Raiders took almost 10 minutes and 16 plays to score a field goal.
Yep, bend don't break. Tyler Warren answered by scoring his first receiving touchdown of his career, which I called for the underdog.
You did.
I said go touchdown for Warren, whether it be receiving or rushing, he will get one of the two.
That's true. And speaking of dogs, Farmhounds has great healthy treats to help you train your puppies. That's what we love at Country Mountain Dogs. Click the link in the description for more. Shega Ulubi then blocked the subsequent punt, and Jonathan Taylor scored his first touchdown of the day. Yes, I said first because there's more to come.
Yep. The following extra point seemed to have some vengeance to it with Spencer Shrader being the unfortunate recipient. He had a knee injury. I looked at the report today. He's out for the season.
Yes.
You know who we should bring back?
Who do you think we should bring back?
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Your guy, your brother said the same thing. Bring back the glasses guy.
He I don't know if you've seen the series that he has. The NFL's been kind of hitting a spotlight on him, trying to get him back in. Very, very good for, especially with kickers going down, stuff like that. It seems like a lot of injuries from kickers.
Yep.
Or kickers just not doing well. I'd say Rod might have a shot at getting a job. I would love for him to come back to Indy. He's looked better than ever. Bring back Hot Rod. Come on now.
Yeah, I like it. We were so hard on him, but I mean, bring
It
him
was
back.
an injury. It was an injury that was messing him up.
All right, let's see what he's got. Speaking, okay, of the whole situation, I want to get your thoughts because I thought that this was the case, but I wanted to hear your thoughts and perspective. I don't know how much you looked at it. It looked to me that the Raiders player coming off the edge completely was going for the injury as payback from the punt. Now the punt had no malicious intent whatsoever. It was just blocked, and your leg is going up where the ball goes, right?
And to be fair, only an ankle as well. So
Right,
not nearly as bad as a knee.
right. They wouldn't have known that a few plays later. Okay,
100%. They wouldn't have known. But it did look like he was not going for the ball. It looked like he was going for the leg. You can't do that. It's one. The announcers were talking about it. They're like, normally if you're going for the ball, you actually hit the punter. You get the plant foot.
Yep.
The fact that he got the kicking foot after his foot had already touched the ground.
Yes.
That is late. That is really late.
All right.
So
I'm glad we saw it the same way, even though we're with the same team. We're two different people. You played, so you get it.
Kicking can be a scary thing.
Oh yeah, you are putting yourself in a vulnerable position. Same as I heard Peyton Manning talk about when you're throwing a pass, you have all of this around your midsection very exposed. Which is why a lot of times you see quarterbacks rocking the dad bod as a little extra protection for themselves. Then back to the narrative as the Raiders were driving, Leatu Latu intercepted a tipped Geno Smith pass tipped by Grover Stewart.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
his second interception of the year. That means he and Cam Bynum are tied.
Yeah. That then led to a methodical Colts drive completed by a Michael Pittman Jr. touchdown. Can I talk about this touchdown?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened with the blocking scheme. Something happened. They brought 4 or 5 guys. Regardless, something happened. Guy got in for free.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's why we have a mobile quarterback.
Yep.
Indiana Jones gets out of the pocket, right? He's scrambling. Then he's getting pushed by the guy who's chasing him. And then Max Crosby comes up, starts going after him as well. Throws a dart to the back of the end zone.
Yep.
Perfectly placed in between 2 defenders. Michael Pittman dives out, catches it. That, I think, is a perfect play to define what this Colts season has been.
I like it.
It's been, most of the time, it has been perfect football.
Wow. That's bold of you. Michael Pittman Jr., by the way, I saw went up to 5th on the all-time receptions list for the Colts history, passing Dallas Clark. He is now, I think, 200 behind T.Y. Hilton and Raymond Berry on the all-time list. Of course, at the top is Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. So he's got a long time, but he is Raymond Berry played 13 seasons with the Colts, and T.Y. played 10, and he's only 200 behind both of them, and he's only in his 6th season at the very beginning of his 6th season with the Colts. Yeah. So there you go. The Raiders had just enough time to get Carlson into a long field goal range, but he missed at the end of the half, leading to a score of 20-3.
Yep. The Raiders' first possession of the second half was a punt, which Taylor turned into his second touchdown after a 20-yard Ashton Doolin catch. That catch was awesome.
They are a lot of times with Doolin. Yeah. 2 plays later, just 2 plays later, Mekhi Blackman intercepted Smith and ran it back to set up a 1st and goal for the Colts.
Yep, that turned into a former Raider, Amir Abdullah, during his JT impression with a jump cut for the touchdown.
Yes, keeping that goal in mind. Speaking of which, Open Goal has a great goal setup and rebounder, so you don't have to chase your balls around like the Raiders had to chase the running backs around. Click the link in the description for more on that.
Yep, the Raiders quickly turned it over on downs, which led to JT's touchdown hat trick after another huge 35-yard Ashton Dulin catch. By the way, that hat trick was also the very first octopus of the season for any team.
What's an octopus?
Oh, I get to teach you something about football?
Yes, I'm ready.
You might know it, just don't know the term. It's where you score the points and then you score the 2-point afterwards.
Oh, so okay, I got you.
If you run it in for the 6, then you run it in for the 2.
Right. And that was the only 2 that they scored all game.
MPJ almost got an octopus earlier in the game as well. He probably should have caught that, but
yep. So, there's still stuff to work on to make the Colts better. Their 2-point conversion rate is way down at this point. Come on, guys. They did do better in a certain category. I'll get to in a little bit. The final field goal for the Raiders took too long as their only consistent weapon was their running back, and it just takes too much time off the clock.
Yep, agreed. This tied a franchise, the overall
Wait,
game.
you forgot the very end of the game here. Cool.
I did. Anthony Richardson got back in. The Colts ran more time off the clock, which included that Anthony Richardson batted ball way up in the air, caught it for a 9-yard self-completion.
Right. He was 1 for 2 for 9 yards to himself.
That was a hard-fought 9 yards, too.
Yeah, he just kept it going. That's one of the reasons we love Anthony Richardson. Man, he may not be consistent, but he's exciting.
Yep. This is what I was getting to later. Yep. This whole entire game tied a franchise record with 6 straight possessions with the touchdown. The last time they did that was 2001, week 2 against the Buffalo Bills. So this was before Peyton, right?
This was right at the really good part of Peyton.
Okay.
Drafted
in
98.
The incline.
Right. Drafted in 98, went 3-13, and then by 99 they went 13-3, and so this was right at the really good times of Peyton Manning. And the Buffalo Bills were way different back then. I can't even remember who the quarterback was at that point. After Jim Kelly and before Tyrod Taylor, I guess is the next good one. I don't know.
Was he good?
Yeah, I mean, he's still around, and
Yeah, I guess so.
He was fairly good
before Josh Allen.
Yeah. There you go. Injuries, as we mentioned, Spencer Shrader gone for the season. Multiple ligaments in the knee. That's awful. It's just terrible.
Your knee is completely blown at that point. Props to him. I believe he was able to walk off the field.
Yeah, it did not look like a Chubb situation or a Tyreek Hill from last week's situation, but it may be just about in that neighborhood.
It was bad because you're planting and your left leg, whenever you plant, just for those who are not kickers, you go to plant, you plant, right? And then you swing with your right or your left, whichever it is.
Penny. Yep.
And then whenever you come back down on your right, both legs are on the ground. But you're coming back down weird, where your right is almost in front of your left foot.
Yep.
So your left foot is very off balance. The right leg is the only thing holding you on the ground, essentially. Because your left leg is bent underneath you in a weird way. And then he came and knocked that support. So your body weight is on that already. So it's already a ton of force on it. And then you come in from the side and hit it. Yeah. My ACL injury was a non-contact injury. Thankfully, if it was contact, it would have been so much worse. But that was a contact injury. Doesn't matter how bad it looks. It's always bad. If all your force is on one leg and then that one leg gets taken out, you can already count something's gone in your knee. You need surgery.
Yep.
Already.
Then Mike Hilton had a shoulder injury, came out, didn't return. Grover Stewart, bicep. I don't know that he really left the game. Obviously, not hardly any fourth quarter play for the Colts starters. So not sure the extent of those last 2 injuries. Time then for the stat sheet. Daniel Jones went 20 for 29, 212, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, back up above 100 with 113 passer rating.
Yep. Then Jonathan Taylor, my guy, only had 66 yards. Felt like he rushed for a lot more, 17 rushes, but the big hat trick, 3 touchdowns. I called 2 things. I said Tyler Warren was getting a touchdown. I said JT was going to be the player of the game.
And we'll see.
Spoiler alert.
We'll see. Ashton Doolin led in receiving yards with 55 on those 2 grabs.
Yep. Josh First Downs had 6 catches for 54 yards, and all but 1 resulted in a first down.
First down. Of course it did. Guess what? So there's a lot of people out there on social media now calling for his name to be turned to Josh First Downs. You know when I said that? Do you know when I said that?
You've been saying it.
I said it in the second preseason game of his rookie year. Before he ever actually played a real NFL game. I already said it. And I've been calling him that ever since. We don't even call him Josh First Downs. Just say JFD because it's Josh First Downs. We all know there's no actual internet proof that his birth certificate middle name isn't First. So we're going to keep calling him that. Tyler Warren went for 44 yards on 4 receptions and that touchdown.
Yep, MPJ had his touchdown with 5 snags and 39 yards.
Zaire Franklin was back to his old ways with 7 tackles, 1 sack, 1 TFL.
Kind of old ways, because that sack is not normal. Nick Cross also had a TFL and 7 tackles as a safety.
But Austin Ajaki led the way with 9 tackles. Didn't hear his name a whole lot, but there he is.
Overall, the Colts had 4 sacks, 6 TFLs, and 5 quarterback hits, as well as those 2 interceptions.
Yes, that's how they put the Raiders to bed. Joi Baby sleep sacks and matching crib sets can help you put your little one to bed. Click the link in the description for more. The Colts also allowed how many sacks? 0. Absolutely none.
Yep.
Time for the intangibles. What are your intangibles here?
I only got 2. 1, penalties again. Obviously, Colts won the game by a large margin, so it didn't matter as much. I'm not complaining about any of the penalty calls. I try to stray away from that. If you're leaving the game up to the refs, then that's on you. Just don't leave it up to the refs.
Yep.
But penalties were a problem. Fix that. I feel like the Colts have had penalty problems the past 2-3 weeks. And it's not like they're having a large sum of them for a large sum of yards. It's just at bad points.
Yep.
Feels like something's going right, and then you're back. It happened a lot in the Rams game. Good momentum, and then the momentum switched because of a penalty.
Yep.
And then my second one is you got to cover the big guys. Gianti put up over 100 scrimmage yards on you. You have to stop that. He is not a receiving back, but you're letting him receive for over 50 yards. That is not okay. They did, there were some runs that he had. I was like, okay, this might break off because it's Gianti. And then they did a good job. Everybody collapsing, getting him down. Latu had some pretty good one-on-one tackles with him. They did a really good job getting to the quarterback, providing pressure for someone like Gino, who's kind of elusive, surprisingly elusive at least. And like Puka as well in the Rams game. Went for 170 yards.
Yep.
I get you almost won the game, but that can't happen. You can't have someone going for that much.
Xavier retired.
I don't care if that is the only. I don't care if it's the only guy on their team.
Does Puka put that on his resume? I made Xavier Howard retire.
I mean, don't we say that we made Bill Belichick?
That's true.
From the league.
That's true. That's true. You want to see?
Can.
I've got it. You ready?
You got it?
It's still in here because there are 2 clips in here that are always my favorite moment. Here we go. The moment the Colts killed Bill Belichick's career. So great. Oh,
the other
brings me
one's
such joy.
the other one's the Bortolini one, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
You want to see that one too? Here we go.
Sure, why not?
The gauntlet as they march it right down Pittsburgh's throat.
Rookie got his first start, and his first drive was against the Steelers, where they literally out-Steelered the Steelers.
Yeah.
So great. All right.
So those are my intangibles, though. You got to stop the big guys and limit penalties.
All right. You went negative. I'm going to go positive. You mentioned it a little bit. The team tackling was on point. We said this to begin with, that it's going to take all the guys, and we thought that there would be more guys out there, but the Raiders without probably their two top weapons in their two starting tight ends. And so that you really had one guy to stop. You mentioned they didn't do great, but they did in the sense that they didn't allow him as much yards after contact as you might expect from him.
Yes.
Considering it's him, right?
If it was one guy getting to the ball, if it was one guy getting him, he was either taking him down or someone else was getting there quick and helping.
Yeah. And there wasn't funny that there wasn't this on Shaq Leonard Day. There wasn't a whole lot of at the ball punching. It was just get him down, live to fight another day. The defensive disruption was all over the place, causing havoc, whether it was in the backfield, the TFLs, the pressure, the different looks that Lou Anarumo was doing. It was there. The offensive consistency, as we mentioned, the methodical drives down the field, keeping it together. And then the red zone efficiency. This has been my number one complaint, win or lose for the Colts, is too many field goals. I mean, when your kicker gets AFC, RIP, AFC Offensive Player of the Month because he's
Special teams.
Sorry, yes, special teams. My bad. Thank you. Special teams
scored more points than most offenses,
right.
Though.
Scored more points than at least two NFL franchises during the month by himself. You think, oh, that's great for him, but then that's actually bad because you're not able to finish drives with touchdowns. They corrected that this time and in this game and made it happen. So with all that, what is your Mayflower move of the game? I love to mention this from time to time. We call it the Mayflower move of the game because that is what moved the Colts to Indianapolis, the Mayflower. Yep. And so it is our game changes, it changed the franchise. It is our game-changing play of the game. By the way, shout out to Tony.
Not the boat
no,
Mayflower,
not
though.
That one.
Mayflower Moving Company. It's like kind of like U-Haul type of thing.
Yep. Except they move it for you. Shout out to Tony Dungy. It's his birthday today. The first black coach to win a Super Bowl and the only. Is that correct? Still?
I
can't remember.
Yeah.
But he was definitely the first in the Super Bowl where either way it went, you were going to have that happen because Lovie Smith was on the other side. But
same thing happened with Notre Dame and Penn State last year.
Yep.
First black coach to win a national championship.
Yes. Yep. All right. So what's your Mayflower move of the game?
I think it's going to be I was watching the Shane's locker room speech after the fact, and he said none of it would have happened without this thing that started it, and I couldn't agree more. I think I'm going to go the same thing. He said Shagan Alubi blocked punt.
Yes, I was a toss up there because there's realistically 3 turnovers, that being considered a turnover, even though it isn't considered a turnover.
Right.
But then the 2 interceptions. I'm going to say the backbreaker. Then you went with what started it, even though that was after the Latu interception. What started it, what was the backbreaker was the Mekhi Blackmon interception, because you could if you were watching the broadcast, everything changed in Geno Smith after that. He threw his helmet. His body language was completely off. There was no hope at that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
and it wasn't like The ball could have been placed a little bit better, but at the end of the day,
it was awful. He threw it straight up into double coverage. There was another guy going over the top.
He threw it into double coverage, but he could have thrown it into double coverage towards the outside. There wasn't like the defender was on his back towards the outside, but still could have gotten around to the ball, could have gotten it.
Yeah, the Colts collapsed on one guy. The other guy was going to the top, but he didn't.
But Mekhi Blackmon just ripped it out of the guy's hands.
Yep.
Like
and ran.
So it was major props to Blackmon for that.
Yep. Shout out to you. You called two things that happened this week. So you did great on Underdog Fantasy Sports. Our next segment is brought to you by them. So you would have done great. You had higher on Tyler Warren, and JT was going to have a big day. He didn't have a big day yardage-wise, but he did on the touchdown. So check out this from Underdog before we get into our start of the game.
Football's back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the app today and sign up with promo code COLTS to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code COLTS. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 and up, 19 and up in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 and up, and in Colorado for some games, 21 and up in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and must be present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
So I think I know where this is going, but who's your star of the game?
It's got to be JT. 3 touchdowns is absurd. Every single time I say 3 touchdowns is absurd, it always is JT that's doing it.
Yeah.
The best running back in the league.
Absolutely.
I do not care what anyone else says. No one can make an argument against that.
Bijan?
You try to say Bijan, I don't care. He's a receiving back. He's a receiver.
He's a complete back. That's what we call that, isn't it?
Who says JT isn't? He can catch the ball now.
Especially this season. He's doing all kinds of blocking. He's split out wide. He's doing whatever he's got to do. I like it. All right.
You can't tell me Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is not that. He's fumbled way too much. You can't tell me Jahmyr Gibbs. They have David Montgomery as well, who does just as well. You cannot tell me anyone is better than JT. Saquon has done nothing this year. He had a good touchdown last week, a good long receiving touchdown, but they lost. JT finishes games.
He is a finisher, and that is what he does. What Shane Steichen does. He throws to win, or he throws to score and runs to win. So throughout the course of the game, you're gonna see Jonathan Taylor run down your throat.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
The gauntlet as they march it right down Pittsburgh's throat.
Insert team name over Pittsburgh. Doesn't matter. Okay. And it may be Pittsburgh in a few weeks. So my star of the game is my guy who I have been on for years now, and you have just kept doubting me. Ashton Dulin. Now, I didn't grab it. I should have, but I didn't. There's a clip from Shane Steichen's postgame where he's asked about Ashton Dulin, and he said he is a beast, that he does anything you ask him to do, that he sat him in his office when he re-signed, and he said, you are our special teams ace. You are here to run the ball back and tackle on punt returns. That is what you are here to do. And then anything that we ask you to do on offense is gravy, is bonus, and you got to be ready. He was ready, to say the least. Adonai Mitchell did not play. I'm not counting the fourth quarter. The game was away. He did not play. Shane Steichen drove home a message, and Adonai learned, I believe, and Doolin capitalized. What
Yep.
a beast, man. Like, ooh. That's my star.
I like it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow with our final Fever Frenzy as your mom and I talk about off-season stuff for the Fever. Later this week, we'll have our Unstable Pick 6 NFL prediction show, Crimson Cutback look at IU football and, the important game coming up this week in Oregon, and our preview of the Colts hosting a familiar name with the Cardinals.
Yep. This is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all Indiana.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.